Hi, everybody, and hope everyone's doing great as usual. And thank you for watching. Definitely do appreciate that. Thank you for all the comments and ideas and suggestions too. It's much appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, and if you like the videos, definitely give it a thumbs up. And thank you again. So I just wanted to talk about time for a little bit. So it's a really interesting concept. So I was trying to figure this out and see what a good streamlined answer is to be able to have this conversation with anyone. So I tried to put it together, and I've thought about this a lot too, and I think it's a fascinating idea. So what kind of triggered this was I was watching a few videos, not triggered like in this, in the sense that it triggered anything negative, but what triggered this thought process and got me thinking about it again were some videos that I saw about time being an illusion. So I came across there's a lot of ideas or references to that time is not real, and I've had these discussions too with people in the past before, and I came away confused and in a learning mode, in other words, because there's a lot of good points about it being an illusion. But here's what I'm kind of at with it. So it's not an illusion, and I think it's how you define and put it in the proper context, which is kind of when it kind of clicked in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Because if you think about it, and it's a great argument too, saying everything is unfolding now. True. So everything is constantly happening in the moment. Time is a three-part linear idea. And in other words, there's the past, the present, and the future. And time is a constant, always moving forward. It's a concept as far as being able to understand and map things, so we can understand what is happening and map change along this linear timeline. So it's definitely not an illusion in the fact that it's not real. But I think that argument kind of comes from the idea that the future has yet to happen yet, and the past is not a real thing. It's not tangible. It's not something we can go to. It is, other than we can store memories of it and that sort of thing. But really, this continuous unfolding of everything in the present moment is immediately giving way to the past. In other words, we can map to what's changing in the moment and then call it the past, and then use this idea of data and everything that we're storing to predict the future with a high degree of accuracy as well. So time is very, very useful in that sense. By being able to understand things when the future does occur and becomes real in the moment, we will be able to expect it, understand it, and know what is occurring. And can be very, very useful. So that being said, time is, just to kind of summarize everything, it's not an illusion. It is very much real. It is a concept, which makes it real in and of itself. When we can conceptualize something and use it, then it is very real. Doesn't mean, time, there's no quality to it. Time is not hot or cold. Time is not, anything like that. So it's an idea, but a very real and a very useful idea. So not an illusion. It along with space, and I think this has to do with science too. They are both absolutes. So the idea, the concept of space is eternal, and so is time. They are undeniably one and the same. Because if space is eternal, then if you go in that direction, for example, forever, you can just keep on. You can click a stopwatch. It's never going to end. So in other words, time is forever. It is one and the same with eternal space. I think that's what they call the space-time continuum. So those are very fundamental ideas about trying to understand, I think, the nature of existence and the way science and philosophy kind of applies that. So time is absolute. It is not, the concept of time is absolute and linear. So now the perception can change within a certain segment of time. For example, say you track your looks and your health and everything like that, to from one birthday to the next, 1 year to the next, and you can kind of expect you're going to look a little bit older, or a little bit, that sort of thing. So we use time in that sense, for example, and so we can expect the way we'll continue to age, but it's not the clock is continuously moving forward in a linear, absolute manner, but the perception of what changes year to year doesn't change that linear concept. So in other words, like 2 years from now, I could look younger than I did last year, or that sort of thing. The expectation is, the rules will allow, show you this thing, so we can expect things to happen exactly. Well, no, there's a lot of variables involved, though, that sort of thing. So that doesn't necessarily prove that time is relative or an illusion. We just have to understand what's occurring and why in order to understand it. So, but the overall clock that's ticking in the background, that's absolute. That never changes. That's always back there, moving forward. And as we attempt to understand how things, where it comes from, how it manifests, how it maintains, and then how it eventually goes away. So, that's another great way, I guess, to kind of put it. So, that being said, I think that's all I wanted to share. So I think it's a fascinating idea, but I think it's a wrong platform to start on if you say time is not real, or time is an illusion, or time is just relative, that sort of thing. So it is quite the opposite. It's very real. It's a real concept. Again, it's not a quality, something we can measure. It's what we use. It's a concept we use in order to measure things, so we can better understand them. And again, real and useful. So I think that sums it up. That's all I wanted to share. And I think it's cool stuff, and hopefully useful, fascinating, maybe fun. I don't know. I think it is. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.